everybody, it's going Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV from behind the camera, being joined with Eddie Hearn here in London. My first AJ fight, Eddie, so I'm excited. Well,
like Canelo, right?
yeah, it does. Well,
Toshiba Plaza out there,
Well, 96,000 tomorrow. I don't think even that's a feat that Canelo hasn't done. I was there at the Saunders fight. That was 76.
Yeah. That was the biggest. We broke the record that night for the biggest ever indoor crowd in America, and tomorrow the record will be broken for the biggest ever stadium fight in Europe. So it's going to be incredible. You're going to see something special tomorrow, and you're going to see a great fight, and you're also going to see a great undercard as well. Riyadh Season has really pulled out the stops, as they have done with Trafalgar Square, which has never been done before. It's been an incredible week. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Is there any chance? I know Chavez holds the all-time record, I believe, at 135,000 at Azteca.
Not in Wembley.
You know what I'm saying? Do you think ever you could get Canelo in Azteca?
I think he could do those numbers. Certainly against Benavidez, do you know what I mean? But yeah, the problem is he's generating the money, and sometimes a gate in Mexico doesn't generate the same kind of money that obviously a gate in London would do, and particularly Las Vegas.
Even with 100 and something plus thousand?
Nowhere near.
Overall, what do you think of how Canelo looked and how Berlanga looked in the fight?
It was a really good fight. I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously I would have rathered the other decision, but it was a huge step up for Edgar, but I thought I saw like Oscar's stuff about how he didn't win a round. Yeah. Honestly, every round was pretty competitive. Like, I had him winning a couple of rounds, but like, Canelo's fucking really good, and what I really respected about Berlanga was when he got dropped with the left hook, which was a beautiful shot. It was a flash knockdown. He wasn't like, as soon as he went down, he was like, got back up, and he traded with Canelo. He stood in the pocket and tried to land. As the fight went on, he took a lot of punishment, Edgar, but he was never really hurt in the fight. People questioned his chin, people questioned his heart. He ticked all those boxes, and he'll learn a huge amount from that fight. Canelo's just another level, and he's a tremendous fighter. But I believe that, I almost feel like we have a new signing coming out of that fight. Massive platform for him. Everyone knows about Edgar Berlanga. He's had a huge amount of respect for his efforts in that fight, and he'll be back in massive fights.
Who are you planning? Like, who is that massive name that you want to get him in?
I think Munguia against Berlanga is a huge fight.
Is that a problem now that he's with Top Rank?
No, I mean, no reason why we can't do that together. I mean, other than him, you've obviously got Diego Pacheco that's with us as well. He's going to be looking for a big name. Berlanga becomes a guy to chase now. Munguia, people talked about, Munguia's a bigger name than Berlanga. Those guys are perfectly set up for that fight. Charlo, another great fight. Caleb Plant, a brilliant fight. So let's get him made. I'll probably bring Edgar back. I'd like to take him to Puerto Rico in January or February with a decent name, get the win, then throw him in a big fight in the summer. I think he's a young man. He has a big future ahead of him.
What's I guess clear up the Jaron Ennis stuff. What's happening? Is he going to stay at 47 or is he moving up?
There will be an announcement. Could be tonight, but probably tomorrow, about a show that we are doing in November. Yes, and Jaron Ennis will be on that. Bam might be on that. Not confirmed yet, but we're looking at staging a massive card at the Wells Fargo. We're talking to Chidazian's team, obviously, who won the purse bid. I think, talking to Boots and Bozy, obviously in an ideal world, we would be fighting a unification fight rather than Chidazian. But at the same time, it's not like he has to move to 54 because he just can't make the weight anymore. Do you understand? So I feel like with the conversations with Norman, with the fact that Stanionis, I don't think he's going to find a big fight. Barrios is fighting on a Netflix card. Like, I really feel like we can make those unifications, and I don't want to leave the division before we make them if he doesn't need to physically. So my advice to Boots is to just get this fight out of the way. Try and stop him this time, jump all over him, bash him up and get him out of there. And then see if one of the others, what's his name? Norman Bryan? Is that his name? Oh, Brian Norman. Yeah. See if he really wants to make life-changing money in a unification fight. And if he does, we'll make that fight for February.
Two more quick ones from me. I know I'm on limited time. One, Dana White saying he's going to get into boxing. He made an announcement. He's doing some sort of contender series, I hear, with Turkey.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think he said it for a long time, and I think Turkey's obviously backing all promoters now, and if there's an opportunity for Dana to get into boxing, I'd love to see him in boxing. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a tremendous promoter, and I think that his addition into boxing would raise the profile of boxing and raise the value of boxing. People keep saying boxing's dead, the model's all wrong. Yeah, everybody wants to be in it. Dana White, you know, ESPN, DAZN, Turkey Al Sheikh. Like, boxing's so hot if you get it right, and you know, maybe no one will ever get it right, but I think it's in a great place right now.
My last one for you, Devin Haney did an interview with Andre Ward, I want to say maybe a day or two ago. What's the latest with him? Is he going to come back with you guys? Do you guys have a date? Have you guys talked?
He messaged me last night. I've got to get back to him, but you know, I think Devin should be coming back in at the end of the year in an easy fight. Like, that was a tough fight against Ryan Garcia. Come back, you know, maybe a catch weight between 140 and 147. But yeah, you know, obviously very close to Devin, and love to see him back in the game.
Is he going to be with Paro in Australia?
I don't think so. No.
Would you guys go into the rematch with Ryan right away?
That's up to Devin. Yeah. You know, my advice, no. But you know, and he can't fight till April, May next year. So I think Devin needs to get out before that.
So with this fight, just an interesting thing that AJ mentioned. I don't know if maybe I'm thinking too much into it. He told the crowd, hey, do a prayer for me. Is that usual from him?
He's quite a religious guy. Yeah, I mean, you know, he believes in God, obviously, and you know, he believes that God has a plan for him. And you know, he's often in prayer for himself, his family, and his people. And you know, he also understands the danger of the sport. You know, he's been through everything, he's seen it all, and that's why I feel so confident at this stage. I know it's a very dangerous fight, but because of the experiences that he's had, obviously Dubois doesn't really have those experiences. He's had a couple of big fights, but he's quite young still, I think emotionally as well. And AJ's just been so ice cold this week. It's a very tough fight, very dangerous fight, but I feel really confident that he's going to come out victorious.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, if a fan that's not too familiar with AJ in the States heard that, they might think like, oh, is AJ questioning himself coming into this fight?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but no, it's just more like, look, you know, he'll always say a prayer for everybody he cares for, and you know, just all part of God's plan, really. If it's meant to be, it'll be meant to be. He's done all the work, and then he just has to walk the path. And like I said, if God smiles on us tomorrow night, we'll be victorious.
How do you see the victory happening, Eddie? I know you've said knockout, but
I mean, look, I think a lot depends on how Dubois comes out. You know, if he comes, I think that he's going to lose his emotion in there, Dubois, which could make him more dangerous. You know, because if he comes out swinging, there's a big lump. You know, but that will also suit AJ perfectly because he's a very good counter puncher. He's really sharp with the right hand, and I think if he fights like that, I think AJ could win the fight inside 3 rounds. But yeah, absolutely. Either guy. I mean, like, these guys punch so hard, and they're not going to be dancing around the ring. Like, they're going to be looking to land big early, and they're the kind of guys that when you land, the other one's going to go. And you can't just take shots off these guys. Like, if AJ hits him clean on the chin, the fight is over. And Dubois has also power to hurt AJ. No doubt, he can hurt everybody. So that's why it's such a fascinating fight. Obviously, 2 Brits and a world heavyweight title on the line.
So we thought Canelo Berlanga would happen. No chance you feel there's a decision tomorrow night?
Maybe. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, the difference is Canelo's not stopped anyone for a while, you know, and also he has a great chin. So it's very hard to put a dent in Canelo Alvarez. But these guys, they're just huge guys. And they punch so hard with those little 10-ounce gloves on. You know, it's a dangerous game in there.
So the winner obviously is the plan to fight the winner of Fury and Usyk if it happens by the December date, correct?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. I mean, look, the whole world wants to see AJ against Fury. So if AJ was to win, you know, and Fury lost, would it still get made? I don't know. You know, we'll have to see what happens on Saturday, and we'll have to obviously speak to His Excellency and, you know, just look to the future. But all eyes on tomorrow night, honestly.
Trilogy fight, though, is still something that could happen between AJ and Usyk, though, right?
Hey, listen, Ben Davison and the team want that fight so bad. You know, they really believe that AJ beats him this time around. It's difficult to convince people because he's lost 2, but he's a different fighter now. But, you know, we have to get through tomorrow night first.
All right, hey, Eddie, it's good seeing you. I can't wait for tomorrow. Appreciate the time.